Installment 9, Fragrant Flower. The feelings themselves cannot be ignored much further. We need to put something on it. We need to do some actions here. And Rentaro damn well knows what's going on. And honestly, so does Wagri, because she's openly told Super already. So we gotta work towards some sort of confession. Whether it's duel, whether it's one person, I don't know. We have to set the stage for it. What's a better way to set the stage for it than a festival, right? That's the classic. That's the classic spot. Other typical classics are locations of interest. So realistically, could be the bakery, but that's probably the only other one that they have together because we're not going to go back to the aquarium for it. We already did the aquarium date. Amusement park's another option, but confession there isn't typically what you get. So I don't know. I'm thinking festival. That's the only thing that's really coming to mind here. So we'll see. We'll see if we set the stage likely for that. Friendships and things are in a good spot now between the two groups, or at least slowly starting to get to that point. We'll see if we expand on them a little bit more, because it is a little bit early to be like, oh, here's a festival, by the way. I am curious if we do a ignore typical end on a high note, so end the season with it. And they're just like, they both kind of know it, so we do it in like this episode or next one. I kind of doubt that, but like that would be an interesting sort of switch for them to give us. So I'd be maybe open to it. We'll have to see. Hopefully you enjoy. If you like it, I'll hit the like and subscribe down. So may feel free to check out the Patreon for early access and timer reactions, as well as check out the other videos on the channel. If you have any comments about this episode or this series or anything else that you would like, let's get going with the 9th episode of Fragrant Flower. Scary look on your face today. Oh, put your socks back on, dude. I feel like Rinter isn't that angry. I feel like, I mean, they always assume that. I feel like it's more of he's confused. And he's giving off a look. It's serious when they gotta draw the lines that deep. Yeah, speak. What's going on? Yeah. His mind's elsewhere. I agree with you, dude. I'm always cold. You said what? You're talking about who? Jumping at the sound of it. Now, not that I'm not trying to judge. They're all good-looking dudes. I just don't know how much experience they have, so I don't know how helpful they'll be. That's what we said last time. But you gotta believe him this time. Yeah, what do I do? It's the best. And the worst. But it's the best. Can't stop. Man, you already acknowledged it. You know what's going on. You were kind of on the ground for a while. A comment, yeah. No. Oh, we've been hiding that, right? They wouldn't do that, my guy. Actually, they might, but like jokingly.
いいよ、ごめんな。やっぱ俺ん家にしようぜ。いや、俺ん家で大丈夫だよ。
Whoa. Whoa. You said what?
土曜日だよな。親に聞いてみる。
Steps. Steps. Let's go, brother.
リンタロウん家ってケーキ屋だったの？
Yeah, but we upstairs.
リンタロウ、お前。なんでもっと早く言わないんだよ。そうだよ。
And then it makes you feel almost stupid for just all this time not being able to and overthinking.
全然似合わないね。
申し訳ねえな。そんなこと言う奴らじゃないって分かってたはずなのに。
Can't help it though.
俺は本当に何を怖がっていたんだろう。
The past, brother.
ああ、来たのね。リンタロウのお友達よ、ね。
No way, bro. I'm friends.
いらっしゃい。
髪色めっちゃかっけえっすね。
ありがとう。似合ってるでしょ。
はい。すいません。今日お邪魔するんで、これよかったら。
いいの。わざわざありがとね。そうだ、お昼たくさん作ったからいっぱい食べてってね。
ありがとうございます。母さん、なんか嬉しそうだな。
Because you never do this.
案内してあげて。
And it frees her mind a little bit to know that you have people around you. Super sweet.
みんなごめん。今から少し家の方。
This is a big moment.
というか京子さん、ご機嫌ですね。何かあったんですか？リンタロウがね、友達を連れてきたのよ。
So sweet.
リンタロウくんが
珍しいですね。いや、珍しいどころか初めてよ。すみません。
Oh.
はい。
Yeah, tell her to go over. Tell her to go over.
これって小さい時のリンタロウの写真？どれ？
Now the snooping begins, so now you gotta be on guard.
そうだけど。へえ、リンタロウお兄さんいたんだ。
Your personal space is being invaded.
なんか友達が自分の家にいるの。
Yeah.
変な感覚だな。
リンタロウ、ちょっと来て。
Uh-oh.
何？
Yo. Oh, Subaru's here too.
ワグリさん。
お邪魔し。
Yo, we came to hang out. This is great. I'm loving this because it's not feeling forced in any way, which I feel like a lot of interactions and things like this are. This feels common.
に来てくれたのよ。お友達と一緒に。
Yo.
こんにちは。お邪魔します。
星名さんも？お、星名さんとワグリさんじゃん。本当だ。こんにちは。
みんなお友達って聞いたんだけど。
I've been prying a little bit.
スムギさん、やっぱり申し訳ないです。いきなりですし。ごめんなさいね、いきなりで。ワグリさんの友達ってことは、あなたも桔梗女子？はい、星名と言います。ありがとね。リンタロウと仲良くしてくれて。ゆっくりしてって。
Friends.
ありがとうございます。
Yo.
突然ごめんね。
いや、大丈夫。
He's struggling so hard.
どうかした？
いや、なんでも。
She just sees right through him. No way. Tease him a little bit.
準備しようっと。スバル。
We gotta do something.
今日の格好
あー
じゃない？まさかこんなことになるなんて。もっと可愛いの着てくればよかった。髪もいつもと同じだし。大丈夫よ。可愛いわ。
You don't have to go crazy for everything.
俺ん家にワグリさんがいる。いた。何？
Help. They're gonna go through this whole time without any interactions, huh? Like they're just not gonna talk anymore. Like how distant they are. She's thrilled, my guy.
私少し店の方戻るわね。
うん、わかった。ちょっと飲み込んでから喋りなよ。
You don't have to speak the moment it's in your mind.
リンタロウに聞きたいことあったんだよ。お前っていつから金髪ピアスにしてんの？さっき写真で見た小さい時のリンタロウ。
Yeah, you and your mom.
染めてんのは知ってたけど、そういやいつからなんだろうなって。中1から。中 1？ そんな前？なんで？いや、マジでしょうもない理由だから。なら言っても平気じゃね？何その謎。
My idea was it would make him maybe like a little bit more friendly looking. Is what he thought.
ちょっとだけ気になるかも。
But I don't know if that necessarily would help, because he'd stand out more. Okay, we just thought it was cool. And he liked it, so he stuck with it. Yeah. It's kind of where it stems from.
だけど、俺にとってはすげえ大きなことだったっつうか。
大きなこと？
俺小学生の頃友達いなくてさ、学校全然楽しくなくて、当時話題になってた外国人が経営している個人店でケーキなんて毎日見てたし、乗り気じゃなかったんだけど。そこのケーキがめちゃくちゃうまくて。
Tasted the color yellow. You're like, I want to be like him. Aw. That's great. Supportive. Mm-hmm. I wonder if that feeling made your mom do it to make you feel comfortable on it, because I'm curious her reasoning. I just said all that.
こんな空気にするつもりじゃ。さ、小学生の頃と今ってそんなにお前変わったの？いや、髪とピアス以外は別に何も。へえ。だとしたら昔の奴らびっくりするほど見る目ねえよな。だってそうだろ？俺なら絶対お前と友達になりたいって思うけどな。
Yeah. He took a liking to you right away.
めちゃくちゃいいやつだもん。ああ、うまかった。俺おかわりするけど、他。はい。和栗さん食べるの早っ。
Yeah.
私も宇佐美くんと同じこと思ったよ。とても素敵で優しい凛太郎くんと仲良くなれて本当に嬉しい。あ、凛太郎くんもおかわりする？
That would have been a good time just to tell her. Just to let it out in front of everyone.
自分でやるって。僕もおかわりしよう。
Aww.
隼人も食べるの早いよね。そうかな。
まだ言ってないじゃない。
いきなり金髪にしてピアス開けるなんて言い出して。凛太郎のことか。
前に話したでしょ。凛太郎が泣いてたって。友達作ろうとすることも頑張ることもやめる。全部俺が悪いんだよ。全部諦めるよ。そんなあの子が楽しそうにしてるのなんて久々だったし、自分から何かしたいっていうのをものすごく勇気を出して言ったんだと思うの。だから否定したくなかったのよ。それにうち接客業じゃない？あの子ならそういうことまで気にしそうだから。
Yeah, so he won't be alone though.
気にしちゃえば気が楽になるかなって。
いつか凛太郎がお前の思いに気づいてくれたらいいな。
いや、いいわよ。でも、そうね。優しいあの子のこと、誰か見つけてくれないかな。
Yeah.
ケーキ、ありがとうございます。
おお、めっちゃある。一人2、3個いけんじゃね？よく食べるね、ほんと。
じゃあごゆっくり。
母さん。
何？私もう店戻らなきゃ。
ありがとう。それだけ。
いやね。もう年かしら。さあ、仕事仕事。
I don't even know what to say. How sweet.
ゴール！よっしゃー！あの赤コーラがなければ。まあまあ。
Classic.
出直してきたまえ、夏沢くん。はぐりさんがゲーム得意なの意外だったな。
得意ってほどじゃないけど、家族でたまにするから。
She can do it all.
すげえうまくてびっくりしたよ。夏休みとかも大変なんかなーって。いや、多分そんなには忙しくないと思う。お、マジ？じゃあ遊ぼうぜ。りんたろうは何？
you don't get any more excuses to get out of those.
とか花火。海で花火いいじゃん。あ、なん
We're
だ
setting up our two locations, aren't we?
いいの？楽しみだね、スバル。
Me?
あ、でも夏休み前には試験があるから頑張らないと。
Why would you bring that up? Yo, why would you bring that up?
戻された。
ごめんなさい。
大丈夫だよ。遅かれ早かれ。
Yeah, better you realize this now.
俺嫌だ、もう絶対嫌だ。
Help.
なんとか。
じゃあ今度勉強会しない？みんなで。
There's a few people who'll be on board for that. Not everyone. Well, that goes the damn best, or at least my favorite episode that we've gotten of the series so far. She's so, I've said it since we've had her on screen, that I love dynamics when we involve parents, especially like in a positive light, because it doesn't get done in more in a serious light too, not necessarily just for comedic effect, which is what we get here, which I really like. And we've continuously developed and shown her to be that, while it hasn't really played itself out to be that way. Seeing a lot of the general ideas that I was having from episode 1 or 2 when we end up seeing her and we talk to her a little bit, actually unfold and become true, I think makes this really develop and hit a little harder for me, which I really am appreciative of. I've been saying it since then, that I was wondering if it was a thing that they did together, or if it was a thing of her doing it to make him not feel like he's standing out or being alone as much, which is basically all that we get. And her willingness to just kind of jump on and do it and think him first with everything is, I love a lot. The immediate, like, never ask for anything, let me say yes. I know he's concerned and worried about the way that other people are looking at him or how it might affect us or whatever. Let me do it and make him not alone. Let me also share the similar sort of like pain or feeling that he might be going through with that. Never leaving him out to be by himself or abandoning him in any sort of way like that. And at the same time, shutting it down almost of like, I'm sure he'll like, thank you or be appreciative of it or whatever, when that's great. But at the same time, it's not what you're doing. It's for him, right? It's not for her. It's not for recognition or acknowledgement of what you've done. It's just to be there, to be supportive, to make him know he's not alone. And even if he doesn't know, which I think we can see by his feelings towards the end, recognition of it at some point in the future does a lot for her. And it makes any potential, not that she did, but any potential moments of doubt or second guessing kind of wash away, which is great. And especially harder because it's been a long while, right? It hasn't been like a year or hasn't been a couple months since this happened, right? It's been years. And it's not a you die once and you stay there, right? He's consistently done it and you've stuck with him throughout. And now probably for the first time hearing the exact reasonings of like why he did it, actually understanding that, reconfirming your own thoughts for what you did and it being actually like worth it, and knowing that you did make that right choice. It's I love her so much. She's been such a great inclusion with her pushing the boundaries a little bit of wanting him to actually engage with Augury whenever she comes, not letting him hide from it. The ability to comfort him when needed and actually talk to him on like a real level that he's been so desperately struggling to open to his friends up to about. And even realizing like how much more she is aware of than he has been, like how than he's been aware that she knows. Then now having that come even more to the front of his mind this episode, because it's like shit, she really has been there. She really has been about this life and doing this. So I love it. I love her as a character. I think she's so great and so necessary and supportive and just important within his life for who he is now. And it's awesome because it opens the door to no longer needing to be this way as well. He doesn't have to stay with the blonde hair, right? He doesn't have to stay with the piercings. And he can if he thinks it's cool and it's what he likes. Right? But his original reasons for doing it, the things he was looking for and finding, to get that confirmation that you changed yourself to maybe fit this sort of mold or become this sort of person that you were already from the beginning, because of the affirmation that you get from those in Augury and those kind of around you and all your friends, really can open that and allow him to just be like, I don't have to keep up this front. Not that it's not who he is, because sometimes you do things and you appear and disguise yourself almost for what you aren't. That's not what's necessarily going to happen or needs to happen, but it can open that gate a little bit for them to go natural and to care less about that appearance or that version that they're trying to present themselves as, and potentially leave them in like the tough times that you probably had to go throughout. Now he might not, and he might feel attached because it was who he was when he found his friends. But I just like that general idea that like this is it almost feels like a wrapped story in a way that we started or we did a thing, we got to an end, we found out that thing wasn't actually what we needed or what was like anything that like literally changed anything for you. It really didn't. But it got you to, it got you, and you are in the position that you are now. So maybe you can leave that also in the past and start that kind of new chapter or head a little bit back to where you are. And I think that would be cool. But I love how almost they all reacted to just their general like support for him afterwards, but not even taking it like in a serious way, because it didn't feel like they were talking to him that way. It more so just felt like they directly were like a little bit like kind of joking. At least Susame, like his voice never sounds overly serious, but he didn't feel that sort of way to me. So I thought that was fun how he just immediately dived into being like, so basically what you're saying, and how he wrapped that up. I like that a lot, but I think this just that general plot point towards the back end there is so wonderful. We set up the festival, potentially fireworks and a beach. So and you can do both at once if we're being honest. So potentially set that stuff up after our last hurdle of exams. So we can set up like plot point. Does this have 12 or 13 episodes? Hold on. I thought it was 12. Oh, it's 13. Okay, there goes my plan. I was gonna say 10 would be more set up towards exams. 11 would be passing and where we're gonna go. An actual festival would happen. They're at 12 and probably confession, but now that gets a little bit pushed back maybe. So we'll wait it out and see. I'm not going to make any more predictions in the direction I think that they're planning to go and we are heading. But I do think that's likely what we're set up for the end. And we put a little challenge and obstacle in our way, but also provide a way that we can all connect and study together. The thing that kind of grew us apart initially when we first met to now bring everybody together and be a thing that we can work on with one another. And they can also come over now because for the first time, that's actually what we're able to get. So I think that's good. And we can move towards that. We can progress the story a little bit there. Rintaro enters the episode completely just out of it, overthinking everything. Can't get Wagner out of his mind. I get it though, you know? And I said it. If she got her elbows on the table like this and her head in her hands and she's just staring you down, like I'd collapse on the spot. I would just melt. I don't know what else I would be able to do either. The smile she gives you, everything that it does, I couldn't handle it myself, and I don't think that you can either. So this is what happens though. I said that last time. I wouldn't be able to stop thinking about her. Look where he is now. He's struggling. He's got her in the head constantly. And it's just causing issues day to day. He can't even function normally. I mean, we're literally here at school and he's dropping things. He's looking over. He's thinking about her. How was this morning? What is she doing? I get it, brother. I completely get it. That's why I said it's the best of the worst thing. It throws you off and makes you not focus, but like it's great because you love the fact that you have somebody in your life that you think is so awesome. It's so just wonderful that you can't stop thinking about. How about we go to your place? And this is huge, right? The first time. And I wonder, I mean, you could, by a show of hands, how many people were either that person or know of a person that they are within like their immediate friend group that never let anybody over to their house. You know, I know people. I would let people over. That wasn't an issue. But I have friends who are close. I literally have a friend. I have a friend right now, close, immediate friend group. One of the closest ones to me. I have never been in this man's house. I have known this dude for 10 years maybe now. I have never once stepped foot in his house, It's just, it happens sometimes. People are sometimes ashamed of the place that they live or where they come from. They're too concerned with the perception of others and the way that they're going to view it, or they view it as a safe space almost for them that they don't want anybody to invade regardless of how close or important they think you are to them. I don't know what his reasoning is. I never really asked. I just kind of was like, whatever, and we'll find somewhere else to go and things to do. But this works for Rintaro in a way because it opens up trust and it makes them see a little bit that he's not trying to hide himself as much as he was before, which is what we've constantly got. I didn't know that he hid this from them, but that makes enough sense because we had have these flashbacks before about people saying that he doesn't look the part at all, and maybe joking on him a little bit because of that. So actually opening up and trusting his friends enough to come to his house and be like, oh, they're not going to make fun of me. Well, he did second guess that and was thinking that they might. It's nice to get that reassurance that he was able to, and also make his worries go away immediately and be like, I'm just stupid for thinking that, right? Like in a way, but you've dealt with this in the past and it's a response, a traumatic response almost to how those moments made you feel, and you shut down and protect yourself immediately. So you don't let anybody know, which also might be a big issue as to why somebody so close to him like Wagari actually knows it too, but also gives a little bit more openness to the fact that he's letting her know more things about him and opening up a lot more to her than he is to any of his friends. Just that willingness to open up to somebody. But that does happen. That's girls at the end of the day, right? Any of my fellow guys that are watching this, it's sometimes just a lot easier to talk to them. It just is. That you can't say to the boys, but sometimes you can say it to the boys. Like you can say certain things, but like you have to phrase it in a way, or you have to like approach the conversation or do certain things in a different way. You can be fully open, but like the way that the conversation's structured and the way that it flows has to be different. And is different because the response you're going to get from them is also going to, like, the perspective they have is going to be largely different than like the girl would, which is why they're, I don't know, sometimes just a little easier to speak to. It lets you be a little bit more vulnerable and show emotions a bit towards that. And the reactions of them all coming here, I like it. I like that they give him a chain too. I feel like that's a detail that you don't typically get in a lot of shows. They just draw the shirt because, like, why give him any extra shit? And everybody's so happy. And look at the smile on her, and you immediately can recognize it. The way that her voice actress portrays this is fucking perfect. Right? She goes higher pitch on the voice. She drags out some of the stuff she says. She exaggerates and makes it a little bit more exciting. The way that she's approaching this, because this really means something to her. She's actually super excited without her even recognizing or probably being able to like control that, right? Puts this a little bit like embarrassed, but a little excited about what's going on, and everybody immediately seeing it on her face. And she's like, yeah, look what happened. So good. This is your home. And then this is that invasion of privacy I was talking about earlier. They break in and they start looking at everything you got. But look who else showed up and you brought over. I love that the mom keeps pushing this boundary a little bit, right? Not keeping them separate, recognizing what's going on, and forcibly making them a little bit closer together here. Allowing her to come over. Glad everybody else is well acquainted, though. So the mom goes a little overboard, gets her a bunch of shit, recognizes too what's happening here. And I wonder how important, if at all, she'll be in this sort of decision or working through his own emotions and feelings. We have put her in a spot where she openly can be that person for him, which I would really like her to be that person that he consults about it. Little Waggery, so so cute in these moments like this. This one, I love it. Her worried about the way she's looking, though, and him struggling to contain himself. No real conversation or anything between them either. Outside of her little comments she makes a bit later on. What ended up happening? Thinking it's just like some basic thing, which it really is, but then he just starts opening more and more without really recognizing what's happening. Look what we see. How important that was, the fun that he was having, thinking maybe I could be like him. I love it. The immediate like happiness. So who's this? Who the hell is this guy? That's the dad, but who's the other one? We got a brother? Why has that never been mentioned? Where's the dad? What's going on with this family? I have questions. I need answers. What the hell's going on? I need to figure that out. Those guys must have been blind, and everyone stands up for you, but at the same time, look who's listening in on it. And the way it makes her feel, right? Recalling what she went through, the feelings that she had at the time. The feelings that he had as well. So good. It's so simple too, right? Isn't it? Isn't it simple? It's simple that somebody who like sees everything at a surface level like me can only, can pick up on it the moment that we immediately get to see both of them have their hair dyed, right? Like, that's so good. And just to top it off, like, get out of there, and even her tone, like her struggling to keep it together, and then he comes in and just nail. Maybe I'm getting old. Nah, I don't think so. Awesome. And a little after credit scene. Waggery's really good at games. We're having some fun together. How about we set things up and do something after we all study together? A little goal, a little place for us to go, right? That extra motivation that we had before about the sports day and the things we were trying to do, trying to get our grades up for it. We can't all attend this. We can't all participate if this doesn't go over well. So let's focus on that. Great episode. Easily my favorite that we've had throughout the 9 up to this point. Very, very excited for more. Hopefully sometime in the next week or so, I can just sit down and bang out the rest of this, because I would absolutely love that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you liked it all, hit the like and subscribe. Do mean a lot to me. Check out the Patreon for early access and timers of more. Leave any comments with this episode or this series. I will be back for episode 10 next Wednesday. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Peace.